we meet again on TV47 Weekend Edition. It's my hope that you've had a great, beautiful Sunday, that holy day, and are ready and set to face the new week. It's always a pleasure doing this with you. My name is Linda Alela. It is that time for the TV47 Weekend Edition. We have lots lined up for you. What is happening in the world of news, but equally an incredible feature story that has been worked on by our very own Elizabeth Atieno. You certainly need to stick around and get to understand what is this that she speaks about. I'll be telling you more about that, but for now, allow us to take the highlights. Tonight, missing activist Mobili Mwagodi freed and abandoned in Diani.
Kwa sababu mlemleta mwanangu huku mmeniongezea hofu. Sijui kama nitalala kwa sababu mimi naona hii ni strategy ya kuleta mtoto wangu mumchukue.
The activist was abducted in Dar es Salaam. Also tonight, Gachagua allies blocked by police yet again. Leaders allied to DCP party leader Rigathi Gachagua face off with police in Murang'a. And President Ruto reassures that primary and secondary education will remain free amidst a debate following CS Mbadi's remarks on free education. Plus, Kilifi County turning the tide on teenage pregnancies.
We patrol along the beaches, flanking out the children.
The concoction of the old and the young, Muslims and Christians, as well as policymakers and developing partners, have come together to ensure that the matter of teenage pregnancy soon fades from sight. Yes, the feature of the day is exactly that last beat, no longer at the cliff. Incredible piece that speaks to just how a community comes together to shun teenage pregnancies and to work towards making sure that indeed that is a game of the past. Do stay tuned for that. Yes, we get straight to the business of the day. Our sign language interpreter, none other than Catherine Similoi. I'll take you through. Linda Alela is my name. Now, missing activist Mobili Mwagodi, who was abducted in Tanzania, was found alive, dumped at the Kinondo area near Diani in Kwale County. Activists have confirmed that Mobili was handed over to the Kenyan police by the Tanzanian authorities at the Lunga Lunga border. Now, this ordeal has sent waves of concern, raising pressing questions about the targeting of activists in Kenya and neighboring Tanzania. Sheila Chelangat with the details of that.
For close to 5 days, activist Mobili Mwagodi was missing, reportedly abducted in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, under unclear circumstances. He was dumped early Sunday morning around 3 a.m. in the Kinondo area near Diani, Kwale County. Activists who picked him up say that Mobili indicated that he was tortured, locked up in an isolated room, interrogated by Tanzanian officials, and injected with unknown substances.
Tafadhali ndugu zangu, msingekubali kutumiwa kumleta mwanangu huku. Kwa sababu mlemleta mwanangu huku mmeniongezea hofu. Sijui kama nitalala kwa sababu mimi naona hii ni strategy ya kuleta mtoto wangu mumchukue. Tafadhali msinichukulie mtoto. Tafadhali msinichukulie Mwabili.
For his family, they are glad to have Mwabili back in the country alive. They, however, say they are concerned about his future, as well as surveillance and threats directed at Mwabili in recent months due to his activism and participation in protests.
We want to know now. Mwabili is back in Kenya. Yeah? Was there a charge in Tanzania? What next here? So we are a worried family. And it is justice for Mwabili.
Mwanangu msimwandame tena. Mmemleta hapa na mmemleta na njia ya umasikini, mmemkuja mmemrusha na vitambara, mmemfunga macho, mmemdunga mgongo, sijui mmemdunga na vitu gani.
So far, the family says they have not yet received any formal charge from the Tanzanian officials.
I didn't know whether I'll get my son. I got my son now. Please stop these abductions. Stop these abductions.
Himself has said that he is not in the best mental health status. So the doctors are working on those two.
Mwabili, a vocal government critic and hotelier based in Kigamboni, Dar es Salaam, who has long been outspoken against the Kenya Kwanza administration, is currently admitted at Pandya Hospital in Mombasa undergoing treatment. Sheila Chelangat for TV47.
Thank you, Sheila, for that. President William Ruto now says primary and secondary education will remain free amidst a heated debate following CS John Mbadi's remark that the government is no longer able to sustain full capitation for learners. Chichi Josephine with the details of that story.
Amid a heated debate following Treasury Cabinet Secretary John Mbadi's remarks that the government is no longer able to sustain full capitation for learners.
We need to be candid and say that yes, we want to budget for 22,000 per child, but we have not been having that in the budget.
President William Ruto now says education will remain free.
I just want to give assurance that education cannot be compromised. We cannot compromise access. We cannot compromise quality. We cannot compromise affordability. And we cannot compromise relevance.
Speaking during a church service at St. Martin's ACK in Kariobangi on Sunday, Ruto reiterated his government commitment to ensuring free, accessible and quality education for primary and secondary school learners.
The commitment we have is that education is the greatest empowerment that any society, any country can give to its young people.
Besides a free education, he assured teachers of salary increment of up to 29%, noting that his government has been working tirelessly to ensure accessible education for all.
Tunataka walimu wetu washughulike na kusomesha watoto wetu. Tumekubaliana na wao, tutawaongezea mshahara from 6% all the way to almost 29%. Katika hiyo mpango.
However, a section of political leaders from Kakamega County have vowed to oppose the capitation proposal once Parliament resumes, warning that the move could significantly undermine access to quality education across the country.
You cannot reduce capitation kwa sababu the foundation of our children is depending on that capitation.
Mambo yale yanaenda vizuri, tutasema ni tick. Lakini tukiona pali wananchi wanaumia kama hiyo mambo ya capitation, hiyo sisi hatutakubali.
The National Assembly Budget Committee Chairperson Samuel Latande has come out in defense of the government's recent decision, explaining that although the capitation rate was initially set at 22,000 shillings per student, no administration has ever fully disbursed the promised amount.
Fee capitation allocation was capped at 22,000 when it was launched about 10 years ago. Even when it was launched at 22,000, there is no day, even if you talk to these principals of secondary schools, there is no day national government has been able to deliver that 22,000. There has always been a shortage in budgeting process.
Chichi Josephine, TV47, Nairobi.
Thank you, Chichi. Armed police officers accompanied by goons allegedly ambushed leaders allied to DCP party leader Rigathi Gachagua immediately after they left AIPCA Christ, the King Church in Kigumo constituency, Murang'a County. The police blocked the leaders' convoy and started throwing tear gas canisters as well, dispersing them. They dispersed the crowds, claiming that the leaders were not allowed to do a meeting in the area. Leaders have condemned the action, blaming the government for allowing goons to run the country. Now, in the same breath, former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua claims that President William Ruto is orchestrating a political scheme to destabilize the Orange Democratic Movement (ODM) and sabotage the implementation of the National Dialogue Committee, that is NADCO report. Now, Gachagua spoke in the US during his ongoing tour.
Speaking during a community public rally in Baltimore, Maryland as part of his U.S. tour, Gachagua stated that Ruto personally confided in him about a plan to drawing ODM leader Raila Odinga into a political alliance, only to later undermine him.
Ile kitu hiyo Kasongo ataonesha wewe. Uliza mimi. The guy is pretending to be nice to you, but utakuja kuniambia. When he brought Raila, nikamuliza huyu mzee umemuleta yasema bana, we are just managing this mzee, tumtafutie kitu kidogo ya kukula anyamaze.
According to Gachagua, the president's strategy involves ensuring the NADCO report never sees the light of day. Gachagua claims Ruto has instructed allies in parliament to stall its implementation until after the 2027 elections, rendering the document politically irrelevant.
I want to tell you, Raila Odinga, William Ruto told me that NADCO report will go nowhere. He's just conning you. And he has told Ichung'wa and company in parliament to delay it until the next election. So you are there waiting for Ruto to implement the NADCO report. There is nothing, he will not do it.
Gachagua also pointed to growing tensions within ODM, alleging that this internal discord is part of Ruto's broader plan to divide ODM from within to weaken Raila's influence and fragment the opposition ahead of the next general election.
Again, he told me, and I have seen it has come to pass, that he'll be close to you and he'll divide ODM right in the middle. Today, as we speak, ODM fellows are abusing each other.
With the 2027 elections on the horizon, Gachagua's U.S. tour appears to be aimed at galvanizing diaspora support. Gachagua's claims add fuel to an already volatile political environment.
Well, to this disturbing piece, a 16-year-old boy is in police custody after allegedly killing his mother and attempting to conceal her body inside their home in Nyakiambi village, Molo Nakuru County. Well, this disturbing incident is reported to have occurred on Friday, with family members discovering the gruesome scene on Saturday afternoon. According to relatives, the boy had dug a shallow grave inside the house where he intended to bury the body of his mother. The suspect, believed to be her son, was found hiding under a bed, and he was immediately apprehended and handed over to police officers from Molo Police Station, where he is currently being held as the body of the deceased lies in Elbegon morgue, awaiting for post-mortem to know the cause of her death.
Hapa tukapanda huku juu tukakuta nyumba mchana, siku mbili ilikuwa imefungwa na nje na kufuri. Sasa tukakuta imefungwa na ndani. Wakasema inawezaje kuwa kumefungwa siku mbili nje na sasa kumefungwa, kwa hivyo kuna mtu ndani. Kapiga teke, mlango ikavunjika. Tukaingia kuangalia, tunakuta maiti chini. Tukafunua kidogo, tukaona kabisa hayuko. Sasa tukasema na mwenye kufunga hii nyumba bado ako ndani. Kwanza tukatafuta huku nje, tukaenda ndio tukapata kaburi imechimbwa ndani ya nyumba. Tukasema huyu mtu hajaenda mbali.
The following day nikamkosa jana, nilishinda hapa humu lakini nikamkosa. Alafu kijana sasa jana usiku karibu tuenda kulala, ndio hawa watu wa familia wawili wakakuja na motorbike. Alafu wakakuja wakasema hii kitu tutanyamaza nayo. Wakaingia wakabomoa nyumba. Wakasukuma mlango wakampata yeye amelala hapo kwa mlango.
Sasa wakati tumekaa na hao watu, huyo kijana kwanza hatujaona akiwa na tabia mbaya. Alikuwa mzuri sana. Hata ukipita naye barabara hawezi zungumzia wewe. Yaani alikuwa ananyamaza. Hatukudhani ati angefanya kitendo kama hicho. Sasa hata
All right. Now, in just 6 years, Kilifi County has recorded a 37% decrease in cases of teenage pregnancies. And in 2 years, the county has reported a 12% decrease in the cases. This has been made possible through close collaboration between the two levels of government, religious leaders, civil society organizations, Kaya elders, health workers, as well as teachers. Elizabeth Atieno spent some time in Kilifi County and files this report full of hope, especially for a county once consumed by negative news.
This is the coastal part of Kenya, where the sky and tufty clouds, resembling a curtain of silk, reflects in the jewel blue Indian Ocean, which swells silently with the waves rippling gently. The beach seems as though it is dipped in earthshine gold. North of the coastal capital of Mombasa lies Kilifi County, situated on the elevation from the sea, covering an area of over 12,200 square kilometers and is home to over 1.1 million people. The county is not only known for its breathtaking beaches, rich culture, and diverse marine life, but also its endowment with a wide range of minerals. For years, Kilifi County has been consumed by negative news, from the Shakahola massacre in 2023, the high poverty rates of 71.7%, to food insecurity, land ownership disputes, and the high cases of teenage pregnancies. But now, the county is turning the tide. The concoction of the old and young, Muslims and Christians, as well as policy makers and developing partners, have come together. Their main aim being to ensure that the issue of teenage pregnancy soon fades from sight. Deep into the horizon, where the sun and water meet, the air is pregnant with the smell of salt. At the shore, we find these three young girls, their eyes shaded from the glowing day star, where the horizon is edged with a silver tint. They are young, wise, bold, and intelligent, and they are breaking the silence. Meet Ramla Rashid. At just the age of 19, she has mentored many girls. She will soon be enrolling into Pwani University to study community health. She finished Form 4 last year, and now she utilizes her time training young girls basic life skills whilst amplifying the voice against teenage pregnancy. She tells us the shores of this ocean is breeding grounds for some predators who lure young girls, impregnating them and later abandon them.
Hayo maswala yanajitokeza kulingana na wazazi kutuma watoto wengine baharini, pengine waje waangalie samaki, ama pengine waje wazunguke na wazungu ama watalii ili wapate pesa waende wakajisimamia kimaisha yao.
So one of the things that we've been able to do is conduct community outreaches right here at the shores, where we are able now to make sure that we give them access to health services just right here.
We and other issues of sex tourism in our beaches, and we strengthened our tourist police, because we have tourist police, and the county government has also the enforcement officers, whereby, especially when we have these peak seasons, we patrol along the beaches, flagging out the children.
Janet is equally a teenager, yet she is bold and vocal when advocating for the rights of girls. She has so far reached out to over 100 girls who are living by the advice given by their young mentors.
Tukiwa kwa space yetu, huwa tunadiscuss mambo mengi kama girls. Kitu cha kwanza ambacho huwa tunadiscuss kama wasichana ni challenges ambazo wanaface wale wasichana. Challenges ambazo huwa yani tuseme ni kubwa. Kati ya hizo zote challenges zote ni lack of sanitary towels. Wasichana wanakosa pads, inapelekea paka wengine wanaweka magodoro, nguo zinaisha kwa sababu ya kuzikata, kwa sababu wazazi wao hawana uwezo wa kununua hizo sanitary towels. mashirika ya usaidizi wa wasichana yamekuwa mengi na wanapata hiyo knowledge. So msichana akifuatwa, kama mimi ni shirika la usaidizi, nimemfuata msichana ni early mother, nikimwelezea, na kama kuna mwenzake atakuwa hapo, atasikiza huo ushauri na yeye atafuatilia, na haezi akaenda na yeye akafanya kama vile mwenzake amefanya. Ushauri wetu tunatoa kwa shule, na kila shule tunahakikisha kama mentors ama kama wasichana tunawapa hiyo elimu ya kuwasaidia, na wasichana ambao tunawasaidia ni zaidi ya 100. Kama mzazi wa kike na unajua una mtoto wa kisichana ama mtoto mke, nataka niwaambie waweze kuangalia watoto wetu na wawape mahitaji yao ninio mahali ambapo wanapastahili.
Also lack of parenting, also some also face bullying. Yeah, those are the main challenges that the girls face.
On the other side of the shores of the Indian Ocean, Alela and Sheila are observing how the horizon is hemmed in sardine silver. They are now bridging the information gap when it comes to sexual and reproductive health amongst girls aged between 15 and 19, while also exploring the intersectionality between population, health, and the environment.
As much as we have these challenges, we have really tried to collaborate with parents, community gatekeepers, even religious leaders, in terms of them also having the knowledge of sexual reproductive health, understanding it, and also to be able now to help these adolescents, to help these young mothers to be able to access services that they want in the facility. We have established 11 safe spaces for adolescent girls who can be able to freely express themselves and also share information about their challenges. And also, we have also worked with young mothers in terms of even when we are doing community outreaches in the community, we have really also worked with healthcare providers and also the Department of Health. And one of the things that we have also tried in terms of providing outreaches and enriches at the facility, both outside the facility and inside the facility. In the safe spaces, we have mentors who are adolescent girls. We have trained them in life skills. And whenever they are providing such kind of information, they also have knowledge when it comes to referral pathways. And we have bring a collaborative approach when involving teachers in the safe spaces and also involving as much as teachers and also involving policy makers.
The gap I see is in terms of participation and engagement, especially for the adolescent on policy levels, is that most of the time it's only experts and also just professionals engaging at the policy level, where they are the ones who are going to develop the policy, look at the policies, as well as also at such time disseminate. But we do not have this adolescent coming to the policy level where they are also able to give their views and also just having their voice heard in terms of these policies, either because the policy language is too complicated for them or the policy environment is also new to them.
Our target audience are mainly 15 to 19. Those are either they are in school, there are also some who are out of school. That is, they have faced dropout, they have also faced early teenage pregnancies, leading them to be young mothers at a young age. And the mentorship program has helped them. Those in school, it has instilled them with confidence that they can stand up for themselves. For the out school, we bring them to this mentorship so that they can know that they are not alone, that they can face anything that comes their way. And we are looking forward to instilling them with skills that can help them in their future, because they have to nurture the child.
95.6 kilometers from Kilifi town, we arrive in Sangatsini village, a village nested in a valley and surrounded by rolling hills, a picturesque oasis of tranquility. This is a small village with a population of almost 10,000 people, but it is full of character and charm. As we enter the village, we are greeted by the gentle hum of nature. In this homestead, we meet Mercy Furaha, a mother of 7. We find her having an informal engagement with children from the neighborhood. It is clear to us that Furaha has formed a strong bond with the children. They open up to her on anything troubling them. She holds the session weekly to ensure the young ones, especially girls, acquire knowledge to secure them from teenage pregnancy through useful life lessons.
Sisi kama wazazi ni tumepunguza hiyo namba ya watoto wenye wanapata mimba za utotoni kwa kukaa nao karibu. Ile yani kuwaleta karibu wale watoto wetu, tuwafundishe, tuwalee vizuri, hata maadili ya kidini pia. Mimi kivyangu huwa nafanya mikutano na wasichana na hawa kina mama, waelimisha watoto wao. Hao watoto yani wawe karibu na wazazi wao. Wakati wakifunga shule, wasiwe na zile safari za kutoka manyumbani. Tuwe karibu nao hao watoto, ndo tuwajue mienendo yao, ili wasiende wakapata hizo magonjwa na hizo mamimba za mapema. Kweli wazazi wa kiume wametuachia sisi wa mama hayo majukumu ya watoto, maana hao mara nyingi huwa wanatoka wakienda wakitafuta chakula na school fees. Sasa mara nyingi huwa hao sasa wakienda huko labda ni mwezi ndo wanabaki huko, alafu ndo wanakuja nyumbani. Lakini sisi wakina mama ndo kila siku tunakaa na hao wasichana wetu. Sasa sisi ndo tunajua hizo shida za hao wasichana wetu.
Matsangoni ward is on the red list when it comes to teenage pregnancies in Kilifi County. We meet some teenage mothers who share their lived experience and, most importantly, how they were able to bounce back after giving birth. Marilyn, not her real name, is a Form 3 student. She narrates how all was well in her academic journey until grade 5 when she gave in to peer pressure. And now she carries a burden of great responsibility.
Kule shuleni kulikuwa na marafiki, wenye walikuwa na maboyfriend. Sasa nile mtu anakuambia mimi niko na boyfriend, fanya hivi. Sasa na mimi nikajiingiza kwa hiyo njia hiyo ya kuwa na maboyfriend.
The desire of her former boyfriend to cage her in a web of deception grew by the years, and at class 7, her life took a drastic twist, her bulging stomach bearing the evidence of what transpired on the day when she was caught in a dilemma during the school games on whether to reject her boyfriend's sexual advances or stand the risk of being abandoned in a place she did not know.
Sasa wakaanza kunitishia hivyo, mimi nikasema jambo la kwanza, kama ni kuachana ni sawa, kama ni kuingia mle ndani siingii, lakini sasa kwenda nyumbani peke yangu, mimi nimeachwa hapo, sina la kufanya, sijui nitafanya nini. Sasa yule rafiki yangu akasema wewe kubali tu uende, alafu tutakupeleka nyumbani. Sasa ikabidi nikaenda. Nilivyoenda sasa, after hapo wakanipeleka nyumbani. Ilikuwa late, ilikuwa kitu saa 2. Waliponifikisha nyumbani wakasema na usiwahi kuongea kwa mtu yoyote. Ukiongea tutakuonyesha kama sisi ni akina nani. Sasa mimi vile nilivyotishiwa na sina kitu yote yenye naelewa, kama kuna nikifanya hivi nafaa nifanye hivi. Nikamezea tu. Nikasemewa nyumbani, nikajitungia tu story, nikasema ukweli. Nilikuwa kwa kina fulani, nilikuwa nafanya hivi na hivi na hivi, lakini sasa tu kwamba mimi nimetoka kwa mambo mengine.
Marilyn lived in fear of the unknown, fear of what the future holds, and more so the fear of disappointing her mother, she being the firstborn of 2.
Nyumbani mama aliniuliza, sasa hivi umepata ujauzito, atakaje tena? Nikamwambia mimi nataka kutoa. Akaniambia usiwahi kutoa ndani ya maisha yako yote. Sasa mama alivyoniambia vile nikafeel tu, yani niko na ile at least nimekubaliwa.
Her mother might have accepted Marilyn's pregnancy, but now she had to deal with the stigma from the society, and this adversely affected her mental health.
Lakini ilikuwa yani ni kama sijajikubali bado. Ikafikia time nachukua kamba nataka kujitia kitanzi sababu maneno ya watu nao pia ukienda huku wasemwa ukienda huku wasemwa ikawa hivi.
The parenting journey has not been a walk in the park, but that has not deterred Marilyn's ambition to quench her thirst for education.
Mama akaniuliza, saa hii umepata ujauzito, utaenda shule ama utaolewa? Nikamwambia mimi kuolewa, siwezi kuolewa. Sababu sasa nitasema naolewa sina kazi. Niolewe bahati nzuri au mbaya bwana apate ajali ya afya, alafu sina wa kumtegemea. Nitafanya nini? Nataka nirudi shule. Ndio mama akanipeleka shuleni. Alivyonipeleka shule term 1 kukaja shirika nilipia school fees hadi sasa niko form 3. Bado naendelea na masomo.
Marilyn's daughter is now 2 years old and Marilyn is a day scholar. Her mother looks after the baby while she is in school.
Changamoto zipo kama vile mtoto hana pampers, alafu hauna au kupa pocket money nyambo weza jinyima hiyo ukanunua pampers. Hapo sasa mama yuenda kukopa kila wakati, yakopa. Tunaishi hivi.
Abstinence is a word that echoes through the mind of Marilyn every time a man tries to lure her.
Nilipata ujauzito sahi mara ya kwanza, ni kama nimepata funzo. Hata mwanaume wote kwa njia akinisimamisha tu hivi, ni kama nafeel ile yani namchukia, yani nikiona ile mwanaume ndio yani sina ile ya kuwa nasema huyu ni mtu mwenye ambaye yuweza nisaidia. Niko na ile ya kuwa huyu ni mwanaume na ili nafikiria tu kile kitendo chenye nilifanyiwa. Ndo najiepusha, yani abstain. Hiyo tu ndo inasaidia nisifanye tena ngono.
She says she is determined to achieve all her future goals, including offering lessons to young girls.
Kuna walimu fulani wenye ambao walikuwa wanatufunza. Sasa vile ambavyo wanatufunza, wanatubeba, ndo mimi naingia na moyo nasema hata mimi siku fulani nitakuwa kama mtu fulani. Hiyo ndo inanipa motisha.
Zawadi, not her real name, was raised in a dysfunctional family. Her mother and father were separated and she was caught in between a rock and a hard place.
Ilikuwa tu kama ni kwenda kwa mama, ilikuwa kama tu vuta nikuvute. Nikaenda tu kwa mama, simaliza hata kama ni nusu saa ama saa, ni saa. Baba yaje ananipika ananipeleka home. Sasa nitasema kwamba kupitia na hizo changamoto zote hizo na tuseme kwenda kupata ujauzito wangu ni kama nitamkola mama. Kwa sababu mama ilifikia tu wakati akamwambia tu baba, wewe kila siku nikitaka huyu mtoto nikana kambe hunipe nafasi ya kukana yeye, na mtoto wa kike ni akaina mamake mpaka umri wa miaka 18. Sasa kwa kukasirika kwa mama akatamka tu akasema, kwa venye mtaki huyu mtoto aje kwangu basi atakuja kwangu kwa njia yoyote ile.
True to her mom's alleged prophecy, she became pregnant at 16 years. She narrates that her child's father offered her sanitary pads. She was forced to leave her father's home and stay with her mother.
Mzazi mwenyewe ambaye ni huyo baba sasa, yani hakutaka niishi pale nyumbani, ndalingangana tu nilikuwa niolewe. Sasa kupitia hayo yote sasa mimi ndo nikaamua tu nikimbie tu ndende kwa mama.
After she gave birth, her father took her back in and her life improved. She had another chance in education.
Nilirudi shule nilikuwa na miaka 17 na nilikuwa nimepata tayari mtoto. Na lengo langu kuu lilikuwa nirudi huko shule ili niendelee kujikimu katika kutimiza ndoto zangu za maisha. Na nilichukua na mradi unaojiita CFK Africa. Na uliweza kunirudisha shule na ukawa unaweza kunilipia pia school fees niko kule shuleni. Na nashukuru naendelea na masomo yangu vizuri kule shuleni.
She wants to venture in community health and share her nuggets of knowledge with the community at large.
Mimi msichana ambaye nilijipata katika hizo hali, na ningeshauri wasichana wenzangu kwamba wasishiriki katika tendo la ngono mpaka pale watakapotimiza ahadi zao katika maisha.
Young men from Matsangoni have equally joined the initiative in curbing cases of teenage pregnancies, and they are now seeking to recruit more men into the cause.
For us youth to empower ourselves, we need initiatives like this youth friendly here, where we freely express ourselves and the problem we face day-to-day living. Sheria ziko, just the implementation hapo kidogo tumeenda chini, because Every case yenye ita happen it's being reported, then follow up hakuna. Watu wameweka wasichana wenyewe mimba na wanaachwa scot free. So kama watajaribu tu kukaza hapo kwa sheria, I think cases zitarudi chini na everything will be okay.
This is the Matsangoni Health Center, a safe haven for young mothers seeking antenatal care. Many teenage mothers, just like Marilyn and Zawadi, not their real names, safely delivered their babies here. This despite early childbearing among girls aged 10 to 14 being the leading cause of maternal deaths globally. The Kenya 2019 census reported maternal deaths of 464 deaths per 100,000 live births among girls aged 15 to 19.
If you look at the county data, we have very few. Actually, we have less than 2 in the last 3 years who died as a result of childbearing. Of course, those who come to the facilities, because we have others. We have girls who are dying as a result of maybe they are procuring abortion and we don't know, etc. There are those who die at home that we may not be able to account for. We have created very good accessibility, and there are 3 things we have done. One of them is coming up with the youth centers, youth-friendly centers within within the wards. So we have partnered with the various stakeholders. The county government has also come up with various other youth centers to provide services directly to young people in those centers, and also actually giving them a safe space to be able to get the services, mostly the safe care services. And then we have trained healthcare providers in around 65 facilities currently, who are now providing youth-friendly services.
Even the number of girls coming for antenatal were fewer because most of the girls remained pregnant and they never showed up in hospitals for antenatal clinics. So there was a variance between, one, the schools dropping out of school, the girls attending prenatal, antenatal, and so the real issues were on the ground.
According to the National Council for Population and Development, NCPD, the rates of adolescent pregnancy in Kilifi County among girls aged between 10 to 19 has dropped from 9,578 in 2019 to 6,545 in 2024. In the previous years, the county witnessed an increase in cases from 7,058 in 2020 to 7,440 in 2021. This equates to national reduction in teenage pregnancies by 31.7% in 6 years and a 17% decline in just 2 years. Additionally, the national prevalence of teenage pregnancy has dropped from 396,840 cases in 2019 to 241,228 cases in 2024.
From 2019, we saw a reduction. From the 3%, we came to 19% in 2020. Then 2021, we went to, again, we reduced to 16%. And then we went to 14%, where we have stagnated all along until when the survey of 2022 came, where we are now at 12.5%.
Nashukuru baada ya mikakati tuliyoweka, sahihi visa vile vimeenda chini sana. Mwanzo tulianza na kuita vijana wa bodaboda. Bodaboda tuliona kwamba walikuwa wanachangia pakubwa kwa janga hili la mimba za mapema. Tukawa na mikutano na wao, misururu mingi, tukielezana kwamba bodaboda ni ajira na isiwe kwamba ndio chanzo cha kudhalilisha wasichana wetu wadogo.
We have seen a very big decline. It's not like we end some 2 years ago. So research or the data collected by KNBS has shown that we are on the decline, and we appreciate. And though we are not where we would want to be, I know we are on the right track.
We started in the year 2018 with numbers that were as high as 18,000 And today we can proudly say that I think by the last KDHIS that we were sharing with the Ministry or the Department of Health, we were at 3,000, that was last quarter.
But just how did Kilifi County manage to record such a significant decrease in cases of teenage pregnancies? First, they had to acknowledge that indeed teenage pregnancy is a thorny issue in the county, and narrowing down to what causes the surge through a multi-sectoral approach whereby former Kilifi County Governor Amason Kingi formed a task force in 2018 to investigate the rising cases of teenage pregnancies in the county.
We did a stakeholders forum, a stakeholders meeting, where we brought all stakeholders together. That is the administration side, that is the national government and the county government, and all other stakeholders, including the Ministry of Health, including the Ministry of Education, the sub-county administrators on the side of the county government, and the Department of Gender, both the national and the county government.
We have worked with with adolescent young girls and peers to come up with groups within various health facilities. We call them Binti kwa Binti. So Binti kwa Binti are these girls who become pregnant, and then we cohort them into groups, and they're able to, we're able to give them information. We're able to actually link them to various organizations that are assisting.
We have transition. A child who is in primary wants to transit to secondary, or those who may be, now that we have CBC. So we found that the transition from one group to another was also something that made most of them, because of their poverty, to remain at home.
Well, great progress that is certainly worth celebrating. We'll be having part 2 of that feature story to allow us to pay some bills, and then we're back after this break. Plus, Kilifi County turning the tide on teenage pregnancies.
We patrol along the beaches, flagging out the children.
The concoction of the old and the young, Muslims and Christians, as well as policymakers and developing partners, have come together to ensure that the matter of teenage pregnancies soon fades from sight.
This is Kenya's #1 talk show, Dr. Forget tonight. My name is the Eagle himself. Dr. Forget is my name.
We are flipping the script, but guess what? Or should I say, guess who is taking over tonight's show?
Anyway, furahia umekaa na kasipuni. CP unit ni Punet. Ni Punet. Punet. So you guys knew about Bigger. Sawa basi. Nasema, hata ungevi the whole time.
I don't want to go back to brokenness.
Never.
I just love the high life. Siwezi taka kuimagine ati nimesota.
You have to watch to find out. Tune in every Wednesday from 7:30 p.m.
Welcome back to TV47 Weekend Edition. To more on that feature story. In just 6 years, Kilifi County has recorded a 37% increase in cases of teenage pregnancies. And in 2 years, the county has equally reported a 12% decrease in the cases. Here is part 2 of that story by Elizabeth Atieno.
Aside from sex tourism, which we highlighted at the beginning of this report, another catalyst that was fueling the rate of teenage pregnancies in Kilifi County is disco matanga, which is popular with heavy public address equipment that plays loud music for several days before burial of a body, for entertainment and also to raise funds for the funeral, where members of the community, including children, come together to enjoy the free entertainment. In 2023, the Kilifi County Security Committee resolved to ban the disco matanga, which was linked to increasing cases of child defilement and teenage pregnancy in the region. But the Kilifi security apparatus inform us that enforcing the ban has faced a lot of resistance from the community, but with time, they have seen the positive outcome.
Kuharamisha disco matanga imekuwa ni changamoto kubwa na donda sugu. Kwa mfano mwaka jana mwezi wa 11, jirani tu kulikuwa na maafa, na wakati wa mkesha wa mazishi wakaamua kuleta disco. Na kwa ushirikiano na walinda usalama, askari walifika na wakachukua vyombo vile vya muziki. Iliyofuata baada ya dakika 5 kulikuwa na mvua ya mawe katika nyumba yangu. Na ilikuwa bado ni mapema sana, saa 12:30. So ikawa ni kukimbia kuingia ndani ya nyumba ili watu wasiumiwe kwa yale mawe yalikuwa yanarushwa. Kwa hivyo kwa hakika imekuwa ni changamoto kubwa kuanzia sisi wenyewe machifu.
Sisi wenyewe kumekuwa na mabadiliko kubwa. Kitu kwa tulisema tulikuwa tupigane na kitu inaitwa disco matanga. Hapo ni pale ambao watu wanauza pombe, wanauza chakula. Ni kama ukienda pale, kwa hiyo wakati wote wa matanga watu waweza kaa hapo mpaka kama ni wiki 2 wakiwa wanakula, wanakunywa na kulala pale pale. Ukanimagine na watoto wetu wakiwa ni wasichana, vijana. So sio tu hata mambo ya wasichana kudhulumiwa, hata vijana wetu pia wanadhulumiwa pale. So ya kwanza tulisema ni kumaliza hiyo mambo ya disco matanga. Na tumepata changamoto kubwa sana.
Persistently we started fighting against disco matangas. And right now, let me tell you, you can sleep very well in Kilifi, all over Kilifi County, without being disturbed at night that there is a disco matanga. But we had to make a resolve that the bodies would be released on the day of the burial. So if the burial is on Saturday, the body is released that Saturday from the morgue, that Saturday morning.
Disco matanga provided an avenue for one, the girls to go out, and 2, the parents to become a bit relaxed in their nurturing or their control or management of their children, because the parents would even desert their homes for 2 weeks. As the body is in the mortuary or in the morgue, the children were left by themselves. The mother is away, the father is hustling somewhere, so the children were left on their own.
So with the help of the police county commissioner's office, Ngao office, we have reduced the number of disco matangas. And if at all there'll be a night vigil, it must be authorized by the county commissioner.
Another key intervention in Kilifi was to enhance school transition by ensuring that teenage mothers still go back to school without facing financial constraints.
You know, when you remain at home, you don't go to school, what happens? You're vulnerable to get impregnated. So we bridged that gap to ensure that we give bursaries, we give scholarships. We talk to financial institution, and we know we have philanthropists around.
Serikali kuhakikisha kwamba tumefanya kitu inaitwa 100% transition imetusaidia sana. Ya pili ni kuhakikisha kwamba kwa bahati mbaya kama msichana amejipata akiwa na ujauzito, tunahakikisha anapatiwa nafasi ya kujifungue, then anapatiwa ile tunaita second chance. So aendelee na masomo pia.
In fact, when schools close, the administrators have an engagement forum with the parents. that now schools have closed and we do not want to find your children loitering in these quarries and so on and so forth. And when schools are opening, we still have an engagement forum that we want all children to get back to school.
The current net enrollment in primary schools in Kilifi County is 84%, while that of secondary schools is 26%.
In Kilifi South, Ngoloko Primary School, then we had a total of 10 girls out of 11 in a class 8 who were pregnant by the time they were going to KCP examinations. And that really for me was an eye-opener that there's trouble in our schools.
Our school transition rate was around 26%. And we worked so hard through the policies, of course, that have been established by the Ministry of Education to ensure that we bring children to school and we retain them to school, and we also help them to transit. So by last year, the school retention rate was around 79%, which is a bit high, and which actually has led to, I would say, largely led to the reduction of teenage pregnancies.
We visit Kirumbi Girls Secondary School. This institution has recorded an increase in the number of enrolled students from only 22 KCSE candidates in 2016 to 103 in 2024. Currently, there are 481 students in the school. The mean grade is also improving. Helen Kongani has been serving as a secondary school principal for 12 years. She joined Kirumbi Girls in 2023. Her previous school is what fueled her ambition to fight teenage pregnancy among school-going children after she witnessed many girls drop out of school due to teenage pregnancy. Kongani tells us she was fully aware that the matter was a ticking time bomb and something urgent needed to be done, and that's when she came up with a resolution.
I applied for a rescue center for these girls, a girls rescue center, as in having a boarding section for the girls. So we fought together with the BOM from the Parents Association or Parents Funds. We managed to build a dormitory, and we managed to convince the parents to bring the children to the boarding section.
More and more parents have been urged to enroll their children back to school. 98% of students from Kirumbi Girls are enrolled in the boarding section.
We also make sure that if that child has to be at the school, and then strictly she should be staying with the parent. She should be coming from their home, not from a rented room. So if not, that child should come to the boarding section. And through that, we have seen that most of the girls have managed to go through the 4-year course without any issues. In fact, we have very few cases of teenage, very few. Sometimes we end the year with no case.
Additionally, the school provides guidance and counseling sessions every Wednesday.
Any girl who falls pregnant should be encouraged to continue with learning. Another issue is that we limit the times these children go home. We don't send them for fees often. And before we do send them for fees, because that one day a child goes home can get this girl pregnant. So we first of all call the parents. Those cooperative parents, they will send fees so that the child remains in school throughout.
Religious leaders from both Christianity and Islam have equally joined the fight against teenage pregnancies in Kilifi County.
Viongozi wa kidini tumeita pamoja na tukakaa tukawaambia ni lazima tuongee kama jamii kwa Waislamu na Wakristo wale wanaoenda kanisani, tukae chini, manake changamoto hizi watoto wanapobalehe haiangalii ni Mkristo ama ni Muislamu.
Amina Salim is an ustadha and principal of the Chumani Islamic Center in Kilifi. She began this center in 2020 and has worked closely with the area chiefs to ensure women and girls quench their thirst for education, which is a powerful force for individual and societal advancement. In this Islamic center, girls are enrolled in the boarding section for 2 years to study religious studies and life skills free of charge. Currently, 63 girls have been admitted. Many have advanced their skills in baking and cooking.
Na mbali na madarsa hapa Masangoni Ward nafika pia Ganda, Mere kwa wiki pia mara 2 kuelimisha wamama na wasichana. Mbali nikiwa mama wa mtaa ambaye ni mama mzee wa mtaa hapo kwangu, nakaa pia na baraza za kina mama na waita Ijumaa pia kuzungumzia msikitini. Baada ya swala huwa tuna darasa ya wanawake kuwaelimisha na kuwapa ilmu zaidi, likifika pia hili janga mtu asiwe atanyamazia nyumbani.
This center is not only a safe space for the girls but these young men as well. 20 boys are currently practicing carpentry as they pursue their Islamic studies.
Na mashule naenda katika mashule kuongea na wasichana, na mara nyingi walimu huwa wananipa taarifa msichana fulani hayuko shule kwa muda fulani na aliondoka hapa akiwa na mimba na ni kama imenyamaziwa kinyumbani. Nakuja kwa chifu na muelezea na tunafuatana na chifu mguu kwa mguu kwenda kuongea na ile familia na kujitolea kwenda kulizungumzia hili jambo, tuanze process ya polisi hadi hospitali, na tunashukuru pia polisi yetu inatuchukulia umuhimu. Tukipeleka kesi kama hiyo inachukuliwa kipaumbele.
From the Chumani Islamic Center, birds fly freely over the dome of the rock and the minaret of the Masjid Jamia Mosque in Malindi. At the prayer hall, we meet Sheikh Yusuf Athman and Islam Ahmed. They tell us they have been holding discussions on morality with the youth and have sensitized men and girls on the importance of education as they tour different learning institutions across the county of Kilifi. But they insist that the buck stops with the parents. Bishop Amos Lewa is the chair of the Evangelical Alliance of Kenya in Kilifi County. He also chaired the task force appointed by former Kilifi Governor Emerson Kingi to probe the issue of teenage pregnancy in Kilifi County. Bishop Lewa says pastoral counseling among the young girls has helped in reducing the cases. Additionally, the Coastal Interfaith Council of Clerics that brought together all religious denominations financed more than 10 girls to resume studies after child delivery. We can't talk about religion and leave out the aspect of culture, which can influence how religious beliefs are interpreted and expressed, bearing in mind that the two are intricately linked. Just to get the gist of the Mijikenda culture, we visit the Kaya elders. Their homestead is surrounded by a cluster of traditional houses, each with a unique character and story to tell. As we walk through the village, we are transported back in time. The houses have thatched roofs and intricate carvings. The houses have been passed down from generation to generation, and they are full of memories and stories, which the Kaya elders narrate through songs. The Kaya elders have also been at the forefront in curbing cases of teenage pregnancies. Every year since 2010, the elders walk for over 340 kilometers for 10 days to talk about peace while amplifying their voices against teenage pregnancies, insisting that culture does not allow girls to marry before the appropriate age. They say the awareness campaign has helped reduce cases of teenage pregnancies.
Kulikuwa kuna mpangilio ya vile msichana atakavyokuwa na mpangilio wa vile mvulana atakavyokuwa. kwa sababu wote walikuwa wanapewa nafasi ya kutangamana, lakini hawapewi uhuru wa kutenda jambo ambalo halistahili katika jamii.
After hearing from various stakeholders including the government agencies, civil society organizations, community members, religious leaders and the Kaya elders, and the significant role they have played in curbing cases of teenage pregnancies, we finally visit the office of the Director of Public Prosecutions to find out how they have dealt with cases of teenage pregnancies while working jointly with the Judiciary, the Children Department, the Probation and Aftercare, and the Police Department, which is the focal point in investigating the cases.
When it comes to teenage early pregnancies, it's related to mostly defilement cases, and we handle a lot of defilement cases. I'll just pick maybe within Kilifi County, specifically Malindi. So far this year, we've registered 56 cases. So in a bid to try and curb it, we do it in different ways. First, we try to do it through deterrent. So by deterrence, I mean that when those cases come to our office, we scrutinize, look at the evidence, ensure that the evidence is watertight by the time it goes to court, so that the perpetrators behind it are convicted, we get sentences that will deter the whole community. One gap that I would say arises is when it comes to children of very tender years. You know, when it comes to defilement, it is done from a child of, even a child born today, to a child of around 17 years. So this age gap where we have children of very tender years, they are unable to express themselves. They cannot even identify who the perpetrator was. These are acts that are done in confinement. They're never done in the open. So maybe a case like that, yes, there's evidence this child was defiled, but we lack evidence of who the identity of the key perpetrator. There's a lot that goes on. They tamper with exhibits. For a child as young as that, we rely on DNA. By the time we get that DNA to court, it's to the government chemist, it's already tampered with. We get negative feedback from the chemist. Maybe we cannot be able to get proper profiles. It's been tampered with.
However, the prosecutors have faced immense challenges while trying to bring the perpetrators to book. Top on the list being interference and late reporting.
There are a lot of kangaroo engagements when it comes to defilement cases. People will try to sweep it under the carpet, try to settle it at home. Mostly in cases of, we have an offense called incest. Incest is a sexual offense between the family. Maybe it's a father against a daughter, a stepdaughter. They will try, an uncle, they would try to sweep it under the carpet, do it in a kangaroo way at home so that it does not get to court. So we always try through the barazas, we try to engage the barazas, tell them that it is not allowed under the law to make such arrangements.
Additionally, the Kilifi County Assembly has since tabled a bill on gender-based violence, reproductive, maternal and child health, as well as the Collaboration and Awareness Bill. The bills have gone through public participation. Currently, there is one public safe house in Kilifi with 40 girls, the low number being a clear indication that indeed the rates of teenage pregnancies have reduced. As the birds fly deep into the horizon, their wings blur in motion and they soon fade from sight. The birds can best describe the fight against teenage pregnancy in Kilifi County. A once serious menace is gradually fading away with time. The residents of Kilifi now have one mission: to completely eradicate the vice before 2030.
Kilifi County has reported a significant decrease in cases of teenage pregnancies. This has been attributed to the close collaboration between the government, security personnel, healthcare workers, education stakeholders, religious leaders, and more so the local community, including the youth and the Kaya elders. Elizabeth Atieno, TV47, Kilifi County.
A beautiful piece by our very own Elizabeth Atieno. Certainly good to see that kind of progress that is happening there, and I hope that they keep the spirit. Now, Kenya Cane has officially unveiled its newest variant, Kenya Cane Lemon and Ginger, at a vibrant high-energy lounge event that was headlined by Abaton's latest music sensation at MKU Pavilion grounds in Thika. Speaking during the unveiling that attracted hundreds of fans of the spirited drink, Kenya Cane brand manager Victor Adada explained that they launched the product so as to celebrate the consumer's evolving taste. He characterized the new Kenya Cane Lemon and Ginger as a fresh local twist with a unique blend of ginger and lemon flavors.
Na nakunywanga time yangu ya leisure, time yangu ya kujibamba nini mambo kama hiyo. Kwanza the Kenyan spirit kwangu inamaanisha mimi nikisikia jina Kenya na feel freedom, na feel opportunistic. Crowd ya Thika always inakuwa on top maze siku zote maze. Lakini leo imeni surprise mbaya. Kitu kwanza ni setup imekuwa poa, sound imekuwa poa, crowd imekuwa wild maze. Na kalemon inawashika mbaya.
KC is part of the celebration. It's the word you use to cheers to the good moments.
All right, and I know that the football lovers are eagerly waiting to see and watch the game right here on TV47. So I want us to take a short break, come back as we close it and shift you right to the game after this break.
This is Kenya's #1 talk show, Dr. Forget. My name is the Eagle himself. Dr. Forget is my name.
We are flipping the script, but guess what? Or should I say, guess who is taking over tonight's show?
Anyway, furahia umekaa na kasukuru. CP unit ni Punet. So you guys knew about piga. Sawa basi. Sema, that don't give you the whole time.
I don't want to go back to brokenness.
Never.
I just love the high life. Siwezi taka kuimagine ati nimesota.
You have to watch to find out. Tune in every Wednesday from 7:30 p.m.
All right, we get sporty. KCB Rugby Club have registered a 15-14 victory against Strathmore to bag the first leg of the Kenya Rugby Sevens circuit. Driftwood Sevens held in Mombasa County. The Raraka-based side, that is KCB, took a 15-0 lead to the interval after 2 tries from Brian Olukose and 1 from Floyd Wabwire, with the scorer's effort of a comeback falling short in the second half, falling short despite efforts from Barnabas Owar and Brian Mwendwa. Focus will now shift to Prince Lou, 7th.
I think we've just been rewarded for our hard work. These boys have worked really hard to be here, and they've just shown the world how good they are. And I think it's just a matter of now focusing as we go ahead in the next leg. So I know everybody will be looking at us, what we're going to come back to. The good thing, we've really worked very hard. We've got players, we've got still players that we've left out. So it's a matter of just giving everybody an opportunity to come through before we know where we are. Most of the things went according to our plans. We kept on changing a few things as we went on, but I feel we've come a long way and we're really picking well. And it's just a matter of polishing and being a very classic team.
It's a privilege and it's a good feeling actually for me. I'm winning my first tournament with a new club, just coming in during the season, and I'm very, very happy again for my current club playing against my former club. It was a big challenge actually, but the best team won.
And Michael Karanga of Kiambu Golf Club emerged as the champion of the 2025 Kenya Amateur Match Play. That is the championship following a thrilling victory over Prani Kapoor of South Africa at Sigona Golf Club. Karanga clinched the title on the 37th hole after Anwith the match tied. After 36 holes, the duel extended into a playoff, where Karanga edged Kapoor on the first extra hole to secure the win. With this victory, Karanga becomes the first player to secure a spot in the prestigious 2026 Magical Kenya Open, a part of the DP World Tour. The NCBA Kenya Amateur Match Play, that is the championship, attracted 78 top-tier amateur golfers from across the African continent. The countries represented include Kenya, Ethiopia, Rwanda, South Africa, Zambia, Mauritius, and Tanzania, reflecting the growing strength and reach of the regional amateur golf circuit. The attention now turns to the Stroke Play Championship set for 31st July to 3rd August 2025 at VetLab Sports Club, where more top contenders will battle for ranking points and a shot of golfing glory.
Very happy man to be the winner of the Match Play Championship 2025. I think today I came very early in the morning. I was so determined to win this tournament, and I knew I was playing with the best of the best, Mr. Kapoor from India, and he's a very good golfer. I came very early in the morning, and despite the weather was not good, but it just turned well, and I made it, played well today. I was struggling with my putting, but here I am as the winner, and I want first to congratulate myself.
Stellar event. We had 78 players from across the world, really. We had players from Tanzania, Ethiopia, Rwanda, South Africa, and even Austria. Yeah, so this is part of the Kenya Swing, where we hold a series of 3 events back to back. We started with Kabete Open at VetLab Sports Club. This is the second leg of it, which is a Kenya Amateur Match Play, which is one of the signature events for the Kenya Golf Union, together with the Kenya Amateur Stroke Play. The winner of the Kenya Amateur Stroke Play and the Kenya Amateur Match Play Championship, which was held today, gets an automatic ticket to the Kenya Open, which will be in 2026.
All right, Sports Journalists Association of Kenya has extended the much-needed support to girl boxers in high-need communities, ostensibly to enable them achieve their greatest potential in sport. During the association's second corporate social responsibility program, SJOC donated an assortment of household items to King Abaka Boxing Foundation with an express purpose to promote inclusivity and indeed foster a love for sports among school-going girls in underprivileged slum areas.
Left side, come on, 1, 2.
environment kwa zile inakaa ni challenging sana. So unaweza pata hiyo kucheza boxing ni kama anaiangalia, anataka kutransform life yake. Juu anaona mwenzake alifaulu. Sasa kuna hiyo motisha. Na naweza sema nawapata through wazazi wao. Tuko na contact na wazazi wao, tuna communicate na wazazi wao, walinipe kibali as a community ya Korokocho, utakuwa kutrainisha watoto wetu nini mchezo wa boxing. So unaweza pata siku zile, unaweza pata changamoto iko maybe ka shule zimefunguliwa, wengi wao pia wanarudi boarding school, wengi wao and then unajua wako kwa private school. So unaweza pata wengi wao pia wako kwa mashule. Sasa tuna wengine wamebidi watoke shule kwanza ndio wakuja waendelee nini, waendelee na training. So wanapatikana within Korokocho, wanapatikana within Kariobangi, wanapatikana within Dandora, wanapatikana within Mto wa Huruma pia.
Boxing najifunza for self defense kwa sababu napata kama saizi madem ndo anakuwa mostly abused sana kwa hii community yenye tuko. Sasa mimi naifanya for self defense. Kingabaka Boxing Foundation imenisaidia pakubwa sana kwa sababu saizi unapata mama yangu analipa half of the school fees. Coach wetu anang'ang'ana kututafutia watu wenye wanaweza tuninia, wenye wanajitolea, uko na kidogo tunalipa nusu, mzazi analipa nusu. Na pia imetusaidia kuleta self esteem yetu, like unakuwa na courage.
And the Kenyatta International Convention Center, in partnership with the Ministry of Tourism, has introduced chess tourney aimed at engaging young people in intellectually stimulating activities. The inaugural edition held last evening drew dozens of youth keen to enhance their strategic thinking. The initiative is part of KICC's broader effort to position itself as a dynamic venue for diverse events while also nurturing creativity, mentorship and problem solving among the youth. Training prizes and mentorship will be offered in collaboration with key stakeholders.
You're leaving? Yeah. Okay. Bye. See you.
For gaming, in different facets of gaming, we'll be doing the hackathon. I think we did the Nairobi one. It was not complete. We're still going to do more of it. We're going to Mombasa and the rest. And the winners, we'll also bring them together. So, for the chairs.
Well, that's so much we had for you on TV47 Weekend Edition. How about we get to see you some other time, but always make sure that you keep it TV47. It was great having you. My name is Linda Alela, assisted by my sign language interpreter, Catherine Simoloi, appreciating the team that has made the broadcast a success. Do have yourself a lovely night and a great week ahead.